The purpose of a revolution shouldn't just be to dismantle a decrepit society, but to build a better one. What can we have in a post-revolutionary America? We can have a society with truly peaceful relations with the rest of the world. We'll cut the military size, cut its spending, and cut its presence around the world. There are more than 600 military bases in other people's countries. The United States would never tolerate a foreign country's military base in the middle of Kansas, New York, or Florida. But our weapons and soldiers are strewn across the planet, the tentacles of the octopus of American empire. We'll bring them home. The United States won't be invaded. The militaries of Denmark, Norway, Canada, and most other countries aren't scattered across the globe, but somehow they've managed to avoid being plundered by their neighbors, aren't disliked around the world, and, apparently most important, still get oil. We spend hundreds of billions of dollars on the military to police the earth, yet do it as effectively as a Keystone Cop, as witnessed by the chaotic state of the world. Instead of sinking billions into superfluous planes, tanks, or Humvees, let's build schools, repair infrastructure, help the sick and the poor, cure disease, reform criminals, heal addicts, clean the environment, and invest in new technology. Which do you prefer? America as a bloated, declining military empire with intrusive military bases around the world, buttressed by an invasive, omniscient surveillance apparatus? Or America as a country that invests its wealth to build a society in which people can achieve their full human potential? Why should we allow our tax dollars to be transformed into military hardware we don't need when it can be translated into roads, schools, medicine, and technology that we do need? We can have a society in which healthcare is genuinely universal, that focuses on preventative care, and that doesn't cost anything when you go to the doctor. Every industrialized country has that except for us. Right now, the US spends exponentially more on healthcare than any other country, but our outcomes are either the same or worse. Can we literally live with that? Why should we when there is a better way? We can have a society in which education and teachers are supported by reducing class size, building new schools, reforming the curricula to focus on modern needs, implementing innovative instruction strategies rather than plodding along with century-old methods. We can help students, the future of the country, prepare to inherit their society. The students of many other countries outperform American students in every area, despite that we spend far more in the classroom. What kind of future can the country expect when students are ill-prepared for tomorrow's challenges? Why should we abandon students to languish in an inferior educational system when there is a better way? We can have a society in which all people have equal opportunity to benefit from the economy. Compared to every other industrialized country, the United States has the most unequal distribution of wealth, the largest gap between the compensation of CEOs and employees, the most regressive tax system, and the least social mobility. In much of Europe over the past decade, the wealth of the middle class has increased by double-digit percentages. In the US, it's only a fraction of a percent. So despite having free healthcare, childcare, education, and high tax rates, the middle class in these other countries has prospered. In America, the opposite of all that is true. But conservatives think their approach is right? For them, what's right are any policies that allow them to keep their enormous wealth rather than reinvesting it into the very society that generated their wealth. Selfish policies are the right policies. But millions of people shouldn't be sacrificed on the altar of economic self-interest so that 1 out of 100 people can add millions of more dollars to the millions or billions they already have. Why should we be content with a society that disintegrates around us while millions are suffering just so that a few people can keep their millions of dollars, which can be used to improve everything for everyone? Why should so few people have everything, more than they could ever need or spend, while so many have nothing when there is a better way? For 30 years after World War II in America, the economy expanded, the middle class was growing, upward mobility was fluid, and wealth was relatively evenly distributed, which showed that most everyone benefited from the strong economy. This wasn't accomplished by magic, and certainly not by applying the self-interested policies of today's conservatives. Instead, tax rates exceeded 80% on the highest earners. Government invested in infrastructure, higher education, and training, and corporations couldn't avoid returning to society some of the wealth they acquired from it. Why should any description of America as a healthy, happy, advancing society be found only in the history books? Why should we passively permit the pernicious policies that have corrupted the country into a decaying corpse of a great civilization? We can change it. We can rebel.